Hey y'all, I hope everyone's having a good day. I'm just now finishing up. While I say that, I'm actually getting ready to go spray a yard in my neighborhood real quick. It's loaded up with weeds, so I gotta get that done. Ladies on me about doing it because HOA's on her about getting the weeds taken care of because there's a lot of them in the yard. And HOA here is pretty strict about, keeping a weed-free yard, so I gotta go get that done here in a minute. But anyway, I've been wanting to do a video about scalping your yard. Because it is March right now and the grass is really starting to come up, as you can see behind me in my yard, starting to green up pretty quick. Even though it's cold now, we had a pretty cold night last night, but March is the perfect time to start shaving that dead grass from the previous year down, from going dormant and dying off, and allowing that good new green grass to come up through. So, and when I say scalp, I don't mean actually going down to dirt. I know some people on YouTube and whatnot may say that and may talk about doing that, but for me, it's always work just to go generally a shade below 2, 1.5, 1 3/4, somewhere in there. That's typically what I do, mainly because I don't want to risk obviously hitting a rock and slinging a rock, and frankly, I don't think it's really necessary, because that's what I've been doing for years now, and it seems to work, work fine. So I don't think you necessarily have to go to the dirt and get all that dead grass, that thatch up. As long as you cut a good bit off the top, it'll allow the sun to come through and heat the surface, the ground up quicker and better, and which in turn will allow the new growth, the new grass to come up sooner than normal. So yeah, if you want to get a green yard, quicker and sooner than your neighbors, make sure you're doing that. If you're a homeowner, go ahead and start cutting now. I know a lot of people in my neighborhood have done that already. Some haven't, and you can tell the ones that have are really starting to green up sooner. So that's really the only benefit to doing that, is you're going to get a quicker green up, and your yard's going to be looking greener, better, sooner than your neighbors if they're not doing that. But if you're a lawn care guy, obviously it can be a source of revenue, because a lot of people, a lot of your customers may not know that if you do this, obviously it'll get the grass to grow quicker. So make sure you're doing that. If you own a business like I do, tell all your customers, go ahead and start now, especially if they have a weed-free yard, because obviously the weedy yards are already starting to grow here in my area, in Opelika, Auburn area, and I've been cutting those. But the ones that have treatments, that have their yard treated and fertilized, typically they're not going to have all those weeds in them. So a lot of those people will wait, if you don't say something, to April to have you start coming to mow. So if you go ahead and mention it to them that this is going to be beneficial to their yard and help it green up quicker and look better sooner, obviously you can make some money there. So make sure you're doing that if you're a business owner and in lawn care. Tell all your customers, go ahead and start mowing now, so allow that new green grass start coming up through the previously dormant grass from last year. But anyway, y'all, I got some video last week. I've been meaning to do this video days ago. I just haven't gotten around to it, and I'll make sure to put it together, and you'll see a good video of a yard I did last week, me scalping this yard and getting all the dead off, or not all of it, but a good bit of it off. And I can already tell it's going by it this week that it's starting to green up. But anyway, y'all, hope everyone's having a great week, and talk to you soon. Hey y'all, I think I got some good footage of me scalping this yard. Again, I want to make sure when I say scalp, I'm not necessarily going all the way to the ground level. Don't want to risk tearing your mower up or slinging a rock and breaking a window. So, and I really don't think you really need to necessarily go to the ground anyway. On this particular yard here, typically I'll cut it around 3 inches when it's growing in the spring and the summer. So earlier I went down to around 175 with a laser Z, and I just blew everything in the middle and then sucked it up with a walker. If you're wondering why I didn't just use the walker at first, I want to prevent, you know, a massive cleanup. If I would use the walker in this yard, cutting it down like I did, I'd probably had 15-20 bags of debris to handle and take care of. So I wanted to avoid that. And as you can see, when I was using the laser Z, a lot of it was just blow in the air. So I mean, a lot of it just blows all over the place and lessens the amount of cleanup. And you know, it typically has stronger belts and pulleys and whatnot. I want to risk, you know, using the walker and, you know, putting a lot of tension and pressure on the belt and the system and tearing something up on it. So, and that's something you got to be careful with a laser Z too. That's why you don't want to go super low to avoid breaking the belt, you know, because it does put a lot of tension when you really lower that, lower it down and cut it a lot lower than you normally would. But anyway, as you can see, guys, all that really does is going to help the grass, the new grass, grow up through the dead from dormancy. This yard was a mixture of Bermuda and zoysia, and the Bermuda is going to be a little bit thinner than the zoysia. The zoysia is super thick, so it's really going to help the zoysia, especially because that zoysia, that thick layer of dead grass, is hard for the new to really get through. But now I've cut some of that off to allow the new green grass to start growing that through a little easier. So that's the primary reason for doing it. Obviously, you want to get some of that thatch. You also want to allow the sun to be able to shine through that layer of dead to heat the soil up, to allow that new green to start growing in, which will allow it to do that better now that it's got some of this dead grass off. But yeah, y'all, I think I got some good footage. I hope you learned something. Hope you tune in and apply this to your business, or even if you're a homeowner, something good to do. Take some of that dead off. Now the grass is really starting to green up, allow that grass to really start growing through. Have a good one, y'all. Take care.